Hello, welcome back to Whiskey Wednesday. Another Wednesday, another whiskey review with me, Joe. So, this week I'm reviewing the Glenfiddich 15-year-old Solera Reserve. Pour a nice little dram out. So, Glenfiddich, a Speyside whiskey. I reviewed the 12-year-old last week. Thanks everyone for commenting. Glad you liked the review. Please keep sharing as always. And this is the 15-year-old. Still widely available. You can still find this in most major supermarket chains. Again, it's often on offer, come around kind of Christmas time. And the Solera Reserve refers to the way they age the whiskey. Now, I've actually printed something out that will explain it a little bit easier than me. Well, just a little visual aid, as they say. So Solera Aging is often used in sherry and port production. And basically, if you look here, okay, these are representing barrels, okay. So you've got all these barrels here that get filled up with either sherry or port. These then start to age for however long they want to age the whiskey, the sherry or port for. They'll fill these ones up, these ones up, these ones up, and that one up. The newest stuff always goes in the top. So what happens is the sherry and port starts aging in these, and they'll age it for kind of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, however long they need to age it for. And then they'll basically bottle a small portion of those bottom casks. So obviously this is the older stuff in these bottom casks here, okay. And then they'll refill these ones up with the stuff in here, and so on and so on. So these get emptied a little bit, the stuff from here gets emptied into here, the stuff from here gets emptied into here, and so on and so on. So these casks are never ever fully emptied. So the oldest sherries and ports will keep getting older and older and older. So there could be, sherries and ports in there that are, 50, 60, 70 years old by the time they're kind of getting around to bottling stuff today, etc. So what they do with this one, in very much the same way as they would do with sherry or port, they do it with whiskey. So with this particular edition, they use sherry barrels, bourbon barrels, and new oak casks. Again, that's quite unusual. So your spirits will be filled into the casks, aged for at least 15 years, then bottled. It'll be kept getting topped up. So although this says 15-year-old, there probably is maybe 30 and 40-year-old whiskey in here. It'll probably be small amounts, but basically the Glenfiddich 15-year-old Solera Reserve is constantly aging. So there will be old whiskies in here. And for the price point, it's really, really unique and interesting and cool for a distillery that is so ubiquitous and so easy to get hold of. Bottled at 40%. Let's get to the nose now, I've explained that. If you want any more explanation on Solera Aging, Google it or leave me a comment and I'll do my best to answer it. So, let's get to the nose. Lovely kind of slight orangey hint to that. Let's give it a nose. Ooh, that's lovely. On the nose, I'm getting honey. I'm getting, it's like kind of warm. It's like almost a warm smell, like warm honey, warm plum pudding. That kind of fruity sherry note coming through. There's a waxiness. There's orange, kind of waxy orange. I'm getting spilling a bit. I'll save that for later. I'm getting bread and butter pudding, so there's that kind of vanilla custard note coming through from those bourbon casks, and more importantly the new oak. Custard, bread and butter pudding, raisins, and also there's that lovely smell of that kind of fresh barley, and that's the kind of smell that when you go to the distillery and you smell the washbacks and you smell maltings, that is what you're smelling, that kind of malty, fruity barley smell. Right, let's get to the taste. Wonderful, just like warming nose, plum pudding and stuff. Right, taste. First thing, compared to the 12, it's a completely different animal. Much bigger, much more round in the mouth, which you'd expect for this kind of aging system, and the fact that it's 3 years older. Taste wise, I'm getting, again, that kind of plum pudding note comes through, raisins, toffee, fruity toffee, honey again. Let's give it another taste. Buttered malt loaf, the serene malt loaf. Oh, serene malt loaf. How awesome is that? Your kind of warm malt loaf. Little bit of spice from that new oak. So kind of honeycomb, crystallised ginger a little bit as well. And then one more taste for the finish. Finish wise, that kind of biscuity notes coming through more, so Garibaldi biscuits, and also on the finish, a slight kind of bitter dark chocolate comes through as well, with a little bit of coffee and a very slight citrusy tang as well that kind of lifts it up. In conclusion, it's a lot more rounded than the 12 as you'd expect for the extra age. It feels bigger. I like the spice. I like the fact that they use this unique system, and I believe it's the only whisky that uses the Solera system. So fair play to Glenfiddich for doing something a little bit different. Score-wise, I think this comes in around about £45–50 a bottle usually. Score-wise, for the taste, for the price, for the availability, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Please let me know what you think. If you've tried the Glenfiddich 15 Solera Reserve, which I'm sure many of you have, leave me a comment. Let me know. If you like what you saw, please share the video, and I will see you next week for yet another whisky review. Cheers guys, bye bye.